So in today's class, we are going to talk about acceleration. Okay, accelerations. So acceleration in rotating members. Okay, why are we talking about acceleration in rotating members? Since whatever machine parts we look at, they consist mostly of rotating parts, right? Reciprocating parts are few, but rotating parts are many. So now whenever a member or a link is rotating, carefully listen to this. Whenever a link is rotating, it has two components. Okay, whenever a link is rotating, it has two components. One of the component is along the link, okay, in this manner, along the link, along the link, and just assume that this is rotating and it's in the downward direction. Okay, whenever a link is rotating, it's in a downward direction, and this acceleration is called radial acceleration. Radial acceleration. Okay, and this acceleration, you can see that it has the formula v square by r. Okay, so v square by r is the acceleration. So how did I get this radial acceleration? So this radial acceleration we got from, there is a force, right? Whenever a body or a member is rotating, you have a force called centrifugal force, which is an outward force, and to balance it, you have a centripetal force, which is an inwards force. So you can say that F equal to centrifugal force is mv square by r, or you can even say it is m omega square r. Okay, so what is this F? Force is mass into acceleration, which is radial acceleration, is equal to mv square by r. Just you can cancel out m and you get radial acceleration formula as v square by r. Okay, this is called radial acceleration. Then you have one more component of acceleration whenever a link is rotating, which is your tangential acceleration, which is perpendicular to the link. Okay, tangential acceleration, which is perpendicular to the link, which is tangential acceleration AT. So now how do you get this tangential acceleration? What is acceleration? Rate of change of velocity is acceleration. Do we have a velocity in this direction? Whenever a link is rotating, you have velocity perpendicular to the link, right? So that velocity, write it down here, v is equal to r omega. Now rate of change of velocity is acceleration, right? So differentiate it with respect to time. Dv by dt is equal to r into d omega by dt. Now you can see here, from this I can write dv by dt is a tangential is equal to r into d omega by dt is alpha, right? Alpha is what? Alpha is rate of change of rate of change of angular velocity, right? Rate of change of angular velocity is alpha. Similar to, or like we have linear acceleration, right? This is angular acceleration. Linear acceleration is rate of change of or linear velocity. Okay, so these two things each and every person should know for a link which is rotating, right? How is it rotating? You can see here, I'll just show it with this. So along this radius, this link is rotating. It has one radial acceleration which always comes towards the center of rotation. Remember, radial acceleration always comes towards the center of rotation, whereas tangential acceleration is always perpendicular to the link, or you can say tangent to the path of that point on which it is rotating. Okay, tangent to the path of the circle. Fine. Okay, now we have learned the concept just now. So now we are getting into the problem upon 4-bar mechanism. Okay, now we are going to check a problem upon 4-bar mechanism. With this yellow ink, I'm going to draw the reference line just for my own reference. And I'll plan to draw each link with a different color, okay? So this is the first link. I'm planning this first link in this manner. Then we'll have the second link over here. This is the second link. And let's have a third link also over here. Okay. And let's fix the first link with a revolute joint over here and the last link with a revolute joint here. So this is a closed chain. You can see that first link is connecting to the last link, right? The total 4 links, I have numbered them, and we even need an alphabet on the alphabetical numbering on the pairs. Revolute pair here 1, 2, revolute pair second one, and third one, and D is the fourth one. Okay. So now each and every link in this 4-bar mechanism, it's a 4-bar chain or 4-bar mechanism, is rotating, right? Here we are going to do acceleration analysis. Acceleration analysis. Okay. So here in the question, usually given data will be like this. AB length will be given, AB length and BC length and CD length. These all will be known. Okay, lengths will be known, and you will even know the angular velocity of link AB. It means AB angular velocity, which is omega is known of AB link. Okay, it might be clockwise or anti-clockwise. Let's take it clockwise, and omega usually is a fixed value. Okay, constant value. There is no alpha. Okay, there is no alpha usually on the input link. Fine. And now for each and every link, let's check what do we know for each and every link, what we have to find out. First, you need to find out velocity of this 4-bar mechanism. Only then you can find out acceleration. So first step is finding out velocity of this complete setup. Okay. So velocity diagram, I'll plan with a single ink. Let's take it this way. Okay. So for link AB, to find out velocity, what is the first step we have to do? For link AB to find out velocity, first you need velocity, right, of link AB, which is B with respect to A. It means velocity can only be defined at a point. So I am defining at point B. Okay. It means at that extreme position. So velocity, as we all know, is the formula omega into R. Okay. Angular velocity of link AB and radius. So what is this? This is velocity with B respect to A is equal to omega of AB, and radius is always the link length because we are going to find out at point B. This you will get some value. For instance, you are getting the value 100 mm per second. Okay, an example. Okay, for example, you are getting the value 100 mm per second. So first thing you have to do is you have to scale it. 100 mm per second, you have to scale it. Okay, and this scaling can be like, for example, I want to take like 2 centimeters. Okay, 100 mm per second is 2 centimeters. It means the meaning is I have divided the 100 with 50, right? And I got 2 centimeters. Fine. Now we'll go step by step. So first, what type of line do I need to draw over here? Perpendicular. The direction is perpendicular. Magnitude is 2 centimeters. Okay. So I have to write the link's magnitude. Magnitude is magnitude of velocity, and then you have direction. See, velocity is a vector, so you need magnitude as well as direction. So for that purpose, let's do something over here. Let's make a small tabular column, okay, which will be good for us to analyze all the 4 links. Magnitude, direction, And we can write the link number here, link number, right? So again, I'll write link over there, and then I will do this magnitude over here, right? And this is the direction, whatever you see. Hold on. So magnitude over here, and the remaining is direction. Fine. So now, what is the first column represent now? Let's take the first column as your link. Okay, you want what type of which link is there, right? So this is link, and okay, so magnitude, direction. So first link, which link are we taking? Link AB. Okay, I'm planning on taking link AB, link AB. Magnitude, how did you get? Velocity of B with respect to A is equal to R into omega. And what is the direction, guys? To know the direction, I told you that you have to take perpendicular because it is moving in the clockwise direction. From B, the arrow is going to face downwards, right? Exact perpendicular and downwards. So I'm going to take this and show here what direction it is. Yeah, and the direction is pointing in this direction. Fine. I hope you're getting the point. So now immediately the first step you have to do is here parallelly I will draw the velocity diagram. I will take fixed points first because A and D don't have any velocity with respect to each other. With respect to each other, these velocities are zero. That's why the vector line is a point. Instead of a line, it's a point. So I will write A, comma D. Got it? And then now, just now we discussed that the direction is perpendicular and the length value, the magnitude is 2 centimeters, right? So 2 centimeters in this direction, I'm going to draw a line with an arrow which is pointing in the downward direction. Okay, here I will write the magnitude as 2 centimeters for now. Okay, and what is the next step now? I have to label it like this point is B and this line is representing velocity of B with respect to A. Now go to the next link. What is the next link here? In the tabular column, I'm writing BC is the next link. And I have to find out velocity of C with respect to B. Why did I write this way? Because already velocity of B is found out. So we are finding out velocity of C with respect to B. Okay. Because whatever is known, only with respect to that, we can find out a velocity. Okay. And this formula also will be similar, like radius is BC into omega. But do we know omega of BC? Angular velocity of each link is different. So we don't know the omega of BC. So it is not possible to find out velocity of C with respect to B in magnitude. Okay, magnitude is not possible. We don't know the magnitude, but we know something different, right? We know the direction. We know the direction which is perpendicular to the link. And don't worry about if it is upwards or downwards. Okay, if it is upwards or downwards, no need to worry about it because you will come to know eventually if it is upwards or downwards, the arrow. Okay, you will come to know. Just wait with me and check it out. Okay, see, I'm going to draw now. The next step is draw, impose it into the velocity diagram. Okay, put it into the velocity diagram. So after putting it into the velocity diagram, I got it this way, right? You can just extend it upwards or downwards until if you don't know the exact direction. Okay, extend it upwards or downwards meaning I can just draw it this way. Okay, I know that somewhere on this line I have point C, right? I know that somewhere on this vector line I have point C. Okay, how do I know that? Because B and C are connected, right? We got and we drew perpendicular to BC link a line. So it means the velocity vector should be on C, but we don't know where exactly. Now go to the next link immediately because nothing to do here. Go to link CD. Okay, so velocity of C with respect to D, because D is known, it is a fixed point, right? So D is known, so velocity of C with respect to D. Do you know the magnitude? Again, you don't know the omega of this. So CD into omega of B, CD, right? But we know the direction. It means we know that there is perpendicular. We need to draw a perpendicular to know the direction, right? So this is perpendicular. It looks pretty perpendicular, right? Yeah. So take it here and don't worry about the arrow. And same one more perpendicular. What do you need to do? Impose it on the main figure passing through D, Nana. Why? Because it is CD. So it has to pass through D. So where is it cutting? Is it cutting on the bottom of the line or top? Top. That's why the arrow is upwards. Okay. You can even draw the arrow downwards if you are going to change the narrative. I'll just show you how what's happening. Okay. See, I'll just draw the arrows. So this, the meaning of this is, it is velocity of C with respect to D. Okay, this point is that. And here I have a choice. So here I have already decided the arrow this way. This is velocity of C with respect to D. And this is velocity of A with respect to, sorry, velocity of B with respect to A. And finally now, here I have a choice. I can draw an arrow downwards, which says that it is velocity of B with respect to C, or I can draw an arrow upwards, which says that it is velocity of C with respect to B. Okay. Okay, I'll plan this one. So the meaning of this arrow is velocity of C with respect to B. Okay, this completes the velocity diagram. Now, how to find out the magnitudes? Because see, this magnitude is known over here. The magnitude is known over here, but here we don't know the magnitude. How to find out the magnitude? Now, I'll write a step-by-step procedure for one of the links. Velocity of C with respect to D. Measure CB in velocity diagram. Okay, what is it? This is the velocity diagram. Okay, fine. So velocity diagram, you measure CB, and then if, for example, okay, CB is equal to actually 2.2 centimeters. What do you need to do now? To find out exact velocity of C with respect to B, earlier I have divided it with 50, right? So now you have to multiply it with 50, and then whatever result you get, okay, that result will be in mm per second, and that will be your actual velocity. Okay, so these are the points from which you can find out velocity of each and every point on the mechanism, each and every point on the mechanism. Okay, each and every point on this mechanism, you can find out velocity, as well as you can even find out angular velocity. I'm just continuing this example. Just see over the other side. Once I get velocity of C with respect to B, if you calculate it, you will come to know what is the velocity. So you got the velocity as 110 mm per second after calculation. Okay, so it is 110 mm per second after calculation. Now I can even find out angular velocity omega bc. How? Because you have v, velocity of c with respect to b, substitute it. 110 is equal to, you even have the length. For example, give a length, any length. BC is equal to, so I will write over here, example, BC is equal to 100 mm, 100 mm. Okay, so now substitute it in the formula. BCB is equal to 100 into omega BC. You will get 1.1 radians per second as omega BC. So you can find out any angular velocity of any other link. Okay, so maybe link number 4 or link number 3 or link number 2. Just now I found out for link number 3. Okay, so this is the way you will go about while you are finding out the velocity in the initial stages. Okay, so this is for velocity diagram. So now we are getting into the acceleration part. Before getting into the acceleration part, what are the things we already know that needs to be noted down? So from the previous analysis, we know the magnitude of, so velocity of B with respect to A is known, right? velocity of C with respect to B is known, velocity of C with respect to D is known. All these magnitudes and directions are known. And even we know angular velocity of link BA, we know angular velocity of link BC, we know angular velocity of link CD. All these things are known, clearly known. Okay, we already know all these values. Now, what are the different things for each and every link which we need to find out? Okay, for that purpose, I am going to put a tabular column. Okay, just hold on. So this tabular column is there. First is link, then is radial acceleration we are taking, and then we are going to take direction of the same radial acceleration. So I'll give a short form for this AR, and here it is direction of AR. Then I'll take tangential acceleration, and then it is AT. Then this is direction of tangential acceleration. Okay, direction of tangential acceleration. Now I'll give you a few tips. Okay, the tips are such that whenever you have a link which is rotating, you have both radial as well as tangential. Okay, right? So now you have formula for radial is, let's write it down here. A radial is equal to V square by R, and A tangential is equal to alpha into R, right? A radial is equal to V square by R, and tangential is alpha into R. Okay, so link, first let me take a link. We'll take link AB. Now, do we have radial acceleration of link AB? Do we have velocity? See, to find out radial acceleration of link AB, first you need to know the velocity, this one, right? Do we know it? Yes, because radial acceleration formula is A radial is equal to velocity of B with respect to A square divided by R. R is link AB. We know both these values, right? Completely known. So magnitude is known, right? So you can draw a fixed line. Magnitude is known. Magnitude known. From the previous diagram, you can calculate. And then what is the direction now? To know the direction, you directly draw. Radial is always, I told you already, it is coming inwards and it is along the link. Along the link coming inwards, right? And it has a fixed length. So that is the direction of the link. So this is the direction of the link. Okay, I'm just drawing it smaller, right? Just check it if it's parallel. Yeah, now it's parallel. Just take it here and indicate the direction, indicate the direction properly, which is downwards. Downwards. Okay. And now, do we have tangential acceleration? For AB link, since it is having an omega which is constant. If omega is constant, what is alpha? So omega is constant and alpha is equal to d omega by dt. So if you differentiate a constant, it will become 0. So there is no tangential acceleration for the input link since I have given constant RPM. Okay, just assume that I have fixed a motor and it has a constant RPM, and that reason you'll have alpha will be 0. So there is no direction. When the value is 0, there is no point in direction. Okay, so no direction. So it is null. Okay, null, it means no value. So now go to the acceleration diagram part. Now I'm going to draw an acceleration diagram here. First, similar to velocity diagram, I will write here A comma D. That's a single point. Okay, there is no line, but I have direction which is A radial, which is coming downwards. So that line I have to show here, right? So again, take it with some fixed value. You have that value, right? You have a fixed value over there, and that you have to take it here. Adjust the length. You know the length from the magnitude, right? It might be more or less. Okay. Same thing like velocity. You have done the scaling, right? Similarly, here also you do the scaling. And this point is point B. Okay, now I got the point B. Now, what do I need to do? Go to the next link because this link is done. We are done with this link. Now go to the next link. Okay, so next link is your B and C. Now, what is radial acceleration? Do we know? Yes, we know, because we know velocity of C with respect to B already known. See from here, I know that value. So it is that square divided by the link length itself, BC. So magnitude is known over here also. So magnitude known. Okay. And now, what is the direction? See, you have to just assume that, because in the acceleration diagram you have B, right? See, A, D, B, these are present. So you can take B as center, whatever value you have, you take that as center and assume that C is rotating with respect to B. So whenever you assume that point, you can say that you have to draw it inwards towards the center, as we already discussed. Yeah, and it should be downwards. So I got the direction now. Let me take it in a smaller manner because I need to show it in the figure, right? And magnitude is known. With that magnitude, you will draw this line value. So this is what the direction. Okay. And the same thing I'm going to draw it over here because known magnitude, right? So same thing I will draw here again. Okay. And it should be parallel, right? It should be parallel. Hold on. I have to take it. Take it parallel, and it's a fixed length, right? So I'm taking it passing through B. Why passing through B? Because it is the link BC and you have only option for to draw over this B length. Okay, magnitude is known. Now I got what? The magnitude as well as the direction, which is in the downwards manner. Here also it is downwards manner. Okay. And now, do we have alpha, means tangential acceleration? Definitely we have tangential acceleration, because we cannot assume that omega is constant for link number 3 and 4. We can only know because the given value for AB, omega is constant, AB link. But BC and CD, it's not mentioned anywhere. So there must be some tangential acceleration. Okay. But do we know the value of alpha? Alpha is unknown. So magnitude cannot be found. Okay, magnitude cannot be found, but direction can be found. It's similar to the case of velocity, where magnitude is not found, direction is known. Tangential acceleration has the direction which is perpendicular to the link. So mostly this must be the line, right? Yeah, perpendicular to the link. So just mention the direction. Once you know the direction, you can connect from here, right? From this diagram you can connect it properly. So I know the direction and I don't know the length because magnitude is unknown. Just draw it, draw the direction in this manner. Okay. And connect it from this corner. Now go to the next link, and before going to the next link, I'll give few labels to make it easier, right? With some other ink. Let's take yeah, and you know that this is what radial acceleration, this is tangential acceleration. These both are components of actual acceleration. These both are components of actual acceleration of point C, because we don't know the point C yet. C is somewhere on this line. Remember where? C is somewhere on tangential acceleration line. Okay, we don't know the length, that's why we drew it this way. Now go to the next link. Go to the next link. Okay, coming to the next link, I know that the link is what? DC or CD. Okay, here also radial acceleration is known. It is V square of C with respect to D by CD link. So that is known over here. See, this V is known because see known values. And direction, is it known? In C and D, which value do you have on the acceleration diagram? I have D point, right? I have D point on the acceleration diagram. So now, so because I have D point, so passing through, you will assume that C is rotating around D and the arrow is pointing downwards in this direction, means towards the center. Okay, I made it small so that it will fit in our table, right? So take it here and show the direction, which is in this direction, which is downwards. Okay, show it clearly, downward direction. And the same thing you come and draw it in the actual diagram, which is your acceleration diagram. Take a parallel line which has fixed magnitude. Magnitude is known. Magnitude is known. Okay, suppose this is the magnitude, a little bit less. Okay, suppose this is the magnitude. Now go to the next point. What is the next point? This is what your radial. Go to tangential. Alpha is unknown. Same point now. Alpha is unknown, right? So magnitude of tangential acceleration can't be found, right? But direction can be found since direction is perpendicular to the link itself. So this is the direction, right? We don't know the length. Don't worry about it. Okay, just draw it long and connect it from here, this part. Okay, let's take the magnitude of the previous link a little bit less so that it will be more clear and realistic to look at. Okay, so I'm going to erase this point and I'm going to redraw it, right? So I have to draw it along the link. Let's take it a little shorter. Yes, here along the link. Suppose this is the value which you got, and now you have to draw perpendicular to the same link, right? So passing through the point, you have to draw a perpendicular link. Okay, so perpendicular to the link and little bit lengthy. Yeah, right. Connect it from here. So wherever they intersect, which one, wherever these both the tangential accelerations intersect, I'm going to show exactly where. Just see. See, this is again your radial. This is your tangential, right? With respect to link CD, whenever you drew, wherever they intersect, this is the actual C point, which is the actual C point. I can say this is the point C. And now you have to what? Connect this radial and tangential. These both are components, right? I hope you know clearly that those are the components, radial and tangential. I'll just connect all these things with a different thing, which is the final diagram, okay? See, first we found out this. First we found out this radial component of AB. Look at the tabular column, there is only one line. So there is no component of this. This itself is the resultant. Okay, that itself is the resultant. So this first line I can draw it as it is. This is the actual diagram which I'm going to draw now over it. Okay, and now coming to the second link, we have BC links radial as well as tangential, right? Radial as well as tangential. So this is the radial direction, this is tangential direction. Just connect these both, radial and tangential. See, I'm connecting these both. So this is the resultant vector. I hope you understand what is resultant vector, right? Looking at the directions. See, I'll show you what directions I'm talking about in just a moment. See, this is the direction of RA and this is the direction of, sorry, radial acceleration. This is tangential acceleration. And here also you have this radial acceleration downwards. And this is the tangential acceleration in this direction. So if you connect these both again with your red ink, use your red ink and connect those both components, radial as well as tangential. So I get this line, right? So this is the actual acceleration diagram which I drew in red ink. Okay, and you draw the arrows like this. If you draw this and this, the meaning is that, see, this is A point, this is C point, right? D point, C point. So acceleration of C with respect to D. Okay, that is the red line. Acceleration of B with respect to A. And here horizontal, little bit, this line is here. This one is acceleration of C with respect to B. From the arrow, I have claimed it. Okay, I hope that you understood clearly what diagram and how you have how we are drawing these diagrams. And one more thing, the magnitude of each and every line over here which you drew in the acceleration. So magnitude can be found out in this way. Just measure AB for finding acceleration of B with respect to A, and check for previous scaling. Previous scaling. See, in velocity diagram in previous problem, I have taken 100 mm per second is 2 centimeter. Here also similarly, after you get the first radial acceleration value, when you take VBA, the total value which you got what? 100 mm per second, means 100 mm per second square by the link length AB. Okay, link length. you get a value, right? For example, I'm giving an example. For example, you got the value of uh, radial acceleration in the first case, which is radial acceleration of b with respect to a, which is the actual acceleration of b with respect to a. Radial and actual are same for the first link, okay, which is v square by ab. Suppose you got this value like v square is, I took 100, right? You have to descale it and take 100. Don't take 2 centimeters. Take 100 from the previous case. And for instance, the value of AB is just 50. So what are you going to get? 1, 2, 3, and 4 divided by 50, and then this will be like 200. So I got the value 200 mm per second square, right? Second square. Now I have to scale it for scaling purpose. If I scale it, 200 scaling to like I want it to be like again 2 centimeters. Just example, 2 centimeters. 200 mm per second square is 2 centimeters. It means what did I do over here? I divided with 100. I divided with 100. Now if I got the value of uh, say CA as 2.5 centimeters. It means what is the original acceleration? Acceleration of C with respect to A will be what? It will be 2.5 multiplied by 100, right? Because earlier we have taken by 100. So here you have to multiply 100 and you'll get the value as 250 mm per second square. Okay, per second square will be the value. So this is the value. You have to again scale it back to the original values. So this tabular column will make it look a little better, okay, for your further references. So for each link we'll divide it, then this one, and directions need to be mentioned, right? So here perpendicular direction also I have not mentioned, I have missed it out. Let me mention those directions also. So perpendicular to this, yeah, which comes here. Let's make it smaller to fit into the diagram. And arrows also can be mentioned now, because the main acceleration diagram we have mentioned all the arrows. For CD link, we have taken it as this direction, and for this one BC you have taken this direction. Now the diagram is complete.